we know of some people around here, some great Talmidei Chachamim, and those also in history, who had a certain hakpada. That means, how do you translate hakpada? A chumrah is a stricture or a stringency, and a hakpada means something that they try to do because they think it's the right thing, but we say it's a hakpada because we can't find that it's by the letter of the law necessary. It's not saying that's critical, or it's not saying that's particularly required. So, for example, I like to explain when we're learning about how taking in Shabbos early. There are some who have this opinion. The Mishnah Berurah is the most known for expositing this idea and advocating for it, that those who take in Shabbos early, that is, they're going to be having the evening service sometime before sundown, as the Sabbath comes in, or any yontif for that matter. So they should be making sure also to finish with the afternoon service before Plaga Mincha. And as I said, that it seems that the Shulchan Aruch and Rambam and the Rishonim who lived before a certain time never had such a Havamina. Yes, there is this idea that on a weekday, you have to draw the line between Mincha and Mariv. And normally that line between Mincha and Mariv is sundown. Rabbi Yehuda says the line is Plaga Mincha, sometime considerably before that. So if on Shabbos we're suddenly davening Mariv early, sometime before sundown, that means we've moved the line. So we have to follow Rabbi Yehuda's line, and we have to make sure to finish Mincha before Plag. And I pointed out that that's an idea, but it's not explicit anywhere. It's actually implied by the earlier sources that there is no such hakpada. In this case, that would be the hakpada. Now, we use this language that these people, whom we admire, by the way, have this hakpada that they only want to speak Hebrew. And around here, we have others who are makpidim, that is, those who hold of a hakpada. They're trying to hold to a higher standard, that whenever they speak when involved in their Torah study, they're discussing matters of Talmud, for example, they make sure to do it only in Hebrew. And pointed out that that's a good thing. The Rambam considers knowing how to speak Hebrew and how to read Hebrew, Yediyat Lashon HaKodesh, as he calls it, he calls that a great commandment that some people take too lightly. It does not mean, however, that one can only speak Hebrew, or one has to speak Hebrew, or that Hebrew is necessarily better than other languages. It's holier than other languages, but it's totally fine to know other languages. As a matter of fact, if you're raising your children, let's say here in the land of Israel, and they're completely Israeli, and thank God they go to school, they learn everything in Hebrew, then it's important for parents to speak other languages to them so that they not be ignorami. They should learn other languages. So it's okay to, let's say, I don't know, if you're immigrants from America, it's okay to continue speaking English to your children. And if you're from France, you should continue speaking French with your kids, so at least they know some French. Furthermore, speaking directly to our Torah study time, we see that the sages themselves, when discussing deep matters, actually did not use Hebrew. And the best proof for this is the Babylonian Talmud, and the Palestinian Talmud. What is the language of the Talmud, both in Bavel and in Eretz Yisrael? Of course, it's Aramaic, and Aramaic is not Hebrew, although they have certain things in common. They're from the same language group, as we call it. Chazal's times, Aramaic and Hebrew were recognized as completely distinct languages. And for those who are into studying Kabbalah, they should just know they claim that the Zohar is also of Eretz Yisraeli vintage from the 2nd century. And lo and behold, it is also in Aramaic. So you see that the sages themselves had no such hakpada that Torah study, high-level Torah study, be conducted in Hebrew. It's just not the case. And so we have to look into that. It's good that we know Hebrew, but it's also good that we familiarize ourselves with the languages that the sages used.
We would like to encourage our viewers to share these videos with friends and send in your responses. If you would like to obtain Birkon Nusach Eretz Yisrael or invite the rabbi for a speaking engagement, please email us at office@machonshilo.org.